everybody, it's Friday. Hope you're going to have an amazing weekend. I just got back from Europe. Let's see here. Went to Germany and we went to Austria, then the Netherlands, and then England, and then back to Germany. It was quite an interesting couple of weeks, that's for sure. Got to meet a whole bunch of you, and it was so cool doing fan meetups in Vienna and London. Finally got to go to the Devonshire Arms in Camden there in London. Met a whole bunch of you dudes there. That was an awful lot of fun. I want to thank everybody for coming out. That was just such a great time. And of course, I've got to thank my friends Max Cochet and Mr. Adam Steele, especially for taking care of us in England there. Adam's got an amazing show. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, please do so. He's just got such a wonderful insight on guitar tone and speakers, and he really does some top-notch stuff, that's for sure.
This is a Piccadilly line service to Cockfosters.
Anyway, the show's about you, not about me, so let's get your comments and questions right now.
Should I get monitors? Fuck yes. Can I even afford ramen noodles? Fuck no. Isn't America great?
Hey man, with that attitude, like seriously, how do you ever expect to accomplish anything? Especially accomplish helping your landlord get his third car! Sounds like you need to stop complaining, man, and get back to work and stop bad-mouthing capitalism! Rich people need more money, now get to it!
The thing is, you can't discount the psychological effect. When guitars convince themselves the tone is improved, it inspires them to play.
Now, what would be really impressive is if the new tubes would inspire them to write a song somebody would want to listen to more than once.
So I learned something from my dad about buying stuff. If you have something in mind, just sit on it for a month or so. If you need to, then get it. This does help because I would have blown tons of dollars for monetary items and not something that I really need in the long run.
Sounds like your dad knows what the fuck he's talking about. That's a fantastic advice for anybody watching the show. Yeah, I get it. I review a lot of killer stuff on this show. But yeah, ask yourself, is this going to actually improve my quality of life, or is this going to improve my workflow? And do I really need this thing? Especially if it's a big ticket item, make sure you sit on the desire for that for a month before you actually pull the trigger. I mean, like, a great example of it for me would be, you know, I always wanted like a vintage U87. That was going to be my present to myself for quitting smoking. I ran it by my wife and she said, well, why don't you quit smoking for 6 months before you buy it? That way you know you've actually quit. So I'm like, okay, great. That's a good strategy. That's a great way to approach it. So that's exactly what I did. I've still got that mic to this day. It's going to be for sale very soon, by the way. There's some very exciting stuff going on here at Spectre Sound. I'm doing a bit of a studio remodel, actually. And you even got this really amazing new office chair. Oh, it's so nice. It's even got lumbar support. Oh, it's so great. Anyway, yeah, I'm doing a studio makeover video in the very near future. I'm going to show you guys what's up here. You got to see these awesome Samsung racks I've got off to the side here. Lots of cool stuff on the go. So I might actually be having a gear sale sometime later this year. I'll have more details on that in the future. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, just going to break in here before we get to the butthurt of the week and let you guys know that this week's episode is being sponsored by my company, Spectre Digital and Spectre Academy. Of course, we got all kinds of cool stuff on the go over at Spectre Digital. The ELE 2.0 release is creeping ever closer towards release. I thought it was going to be out by now, but apparently not. The guys are still being total perfectionists about it. What can I say? Good things come to those that wait. Meanwhile, we've got a brand new course over at Spectre Academy. Scott Elliot's Mixing Death Metal. It's a brand new one. It's a companion to his Mixing Extreme Metal program, and it's pretty freaking awesome. And you can get that for $100, but we've also got the Scott Elliot bundle on sale this weekend only till the end of Sunday night for $300. That's going to get all of Scott's courses, including guitar tone mastery. That one's absolutely brilliant as well. The whole package is really hard to beat. Scott's just got some absolutely amazing stuff. You can check it all out over at SpectreAcademy.com. Links in the description below. Now let's get to the butthurt of the week.
Nah, I'm cool. I will play what I like. I refuse to be influenced by someone who gets sponsored to push gear like this. I notice every channel push the same shit, and all of it is shit! Useless like limpers and fractals. Look how many have walked away from them. The frontwork is beautiful, says Glenn. Sounds like a well-scripted pitch.
Well, hey there, Generation X. Yeah, you know what? You can bitch and complain about my review on this amazing hapless baritone. Be my guest. You know what? You can sit there, but this can do something that a Gibson can't. Watch this. Okay, do this. See that? It stays in tune. Let's see your $3,000 Gibson do that. Scripted my ass. Hey, fuckface, it cost me $600 just to get it in the country. Fuck, I wish I was being paid for that. Dickhead.
My apologies for being off topic, but your series on tone, pickups, woods, etc., and the fact that it's primarily speakers and mic placement absolutely has the big music stores bombarding social media platforms with their own test and marketing propaganda to retain sales. Please double down on this because I'm loving the sale prices.
Well, Jason, thanks so much for writing in. I appreciate that. My big question is, what stores are doing this? I'm really curious about this. And what kind of tests are they doing to show how pickups have magical tonal properties and are going to have way more effect on your tone than, say, changing out a speaker or moving a microphone or something like that? I'm kind of curious. Inquiring minds want to know. If somebody would please clue me in as to what the fuck he's talking about, what stores are doing it, that might make for an interesting video. You know, Glenn calls out, advertisers bullshit or something like that. Maybe we can make that a new series. I'd love to see it. So if you guys know what he's talking about, leave a comment below. I want to hear from you.
Who better to consult about tone than a producer? At the end of the day, all that matters is what comes through the mix, and you've proven that it isn't affected by most of the stuff that we guitarists have obsessed over for decades. Thank you for your hard work and vigilance, sticking to the scientific method.
Hey, Jared, I really do appreciate that. I'm gonna say this right now. Yes, I might be a producer, but I'm not an expert, okay? I'm still learning as I go along. I've just been doing it for a long time, and after several decades of doing this, I'm noticing a slight improvement in my mixes. Okay, but just remember this. I've done this by failing forward. I've made so many mistakes over the years. You finally figure out what works as opposed to what doesn't. I just want somebody would have said this years ago. It's like, hey, asshole, try change your speakers out. That'll help you get the sound that you're looking for way faster than anything else. Speaking of speakers, I've got a really cool video coming up on the Harley Benton vertical 2x12 shipping with vintage 30s. I think you guys are definitely not going to want to miss that. I think that's coming out the following Wednesday. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. Seriously, I'm not going to tell you if it's good or it's bad. All I can say is this is a don't miss episode, especially if you're in the market for a guitar cab. This might open some eyes. It might not. We'll see what happens.
Why'd you stop titling these videos VC? For the past few weeks, I thought you didn't upload them and were just making rant type videos.
Well, to be honest, it has something to do with YouTube's AI and the recommendation system. And for whatever reason, after 420 some episodes titled VC, YouTube wasn't recommending them as much. And I've got, the analytics to back this up. So I changed the titling structure a little bit and bam, you guys are watching again. So I'm just experimenting. It might go back eventually. It might not. We'll see how it goes. But as it stands right now, over the last few weeks, you guys have been clicking on a lot of these videos and it's really been paying off. So I am grateful for your support. Thank you so much.
Hey Glenn, what's your opinion on artists who want to have a similar mix down to other artists and reference track that they send you is shit? I'm working on mixing down a client's track and he wants it to sound like very early Bathory, 1983. And the reference track they sent in has no lows, the drums lack punch, and the guitar was incredibly shrill and basically had no bass. It's like you're still obligated to give them the product they want, but you are also torn between giving them the best product possible. What do you do in that scenario?
Well, I think the best thing you can do is just be honest and say, guys, I can't do that. I'm sorry, that's a shit recording and I'm not going to make you guys sound shit. If I do this, I'm just going to wind up hating my job and hating you. If you really, really, really want that sound, go with somebody who'll take your money to make you sound like garbage. I don't do that. What I can do for you guys, though, is try and find the best elements of your sound and bring that forward. That'd be my strategy. Anyway, why don't we try and find something that works for your band? I mean, like the biggest wild goose chases I've ever gone on in my whole audio career have been trying to make a band that doesn't sound like another band sound like another band. The In Flames thing comes to mind. I had a band that was obsessed with getting that guitar sound. It just never fucking happened. And it drove myself absolutely fucking bonkers in the process trying to do it. Like I spent a year on it and it just drove me absolutely fucking apeshit. I mean, like I was just getting literally sick sitting at the desk trying to do this, and I know they weren't going to be happening. It was like banging my head into a brick wall. My suggestion would be if you have a band that wants to sound exactly like another band, run the other way. It's not worth the grief.
Hello, Galen. I have a question. I bought a Kemper in 2018, and a friend of mine wanted to do live shows, and we play metal, and I don't know what to buy. Apparently, I need a power amp, and I need a cab if I want the live amp feel. I've heard about FR, but I think I'll prefer the sound and feeling of a real cab combined with a Kemper, but maybe I'm wrong. What would you recommend? Maybe I'll go in the Orange PPC 412 as a cab speakers, and a Seymour Duncan Power Stage 700 as a power amp. If anyone else wants to answer my question, feel free to do so. Greetings from France.
Bonjour, mon ami. Thank you so much for writing in. That's a fantastic question, and you're not the only one in this situation. Okay, first and foremost, yes, the Seymour Duncan Power Stage, fantastic solid state amp. Good choice there. Now, you can go with, typical guitar speakers and whatnot. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be aware, you need to turn off the cabinet impulses if you do go that route. If you get the orange 4x12, turn off the cabinet impulses. We've had a local band here with my buddy Steve plays in, and we've had to, read the riot act to the guitar player because he was running guitar cabinet impulses through his guitar cabinet. He had a Marshall or something like that. It was just like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah, just got to turn that shit off. Cabinet impulses will work if you're using an FR cab, and the jury's still out on those. Apparently, Laney's got a really cool one I should be taking a look at sometime this year. Hopefully before Christmas anyway. Should be getting a pair of them in here, and I'm just going to be able to put those through the paces and see how they work. Should be pretty fucking cool regardless. Stay tuned for that. And yes, if you're in the market for a cabinet, make sure you watch Wednesday's episode. You don't want to miss it.
Hi, Glenn. I totally agree that experiences are super important in life. That being said, I finally made it to Wacken last year after wanting to go for the longest time, and it was amazing. I'm glad I spent the money on that instead of buying yet another guitar, pedal, or amp. Being out there with 80,000 super friendly people from all over the world just to listen to metal was an experience of a lifetime. I hope to go back again soon. Keep up the great work.
Hey, Peter, that's fucking fantastic to hear, man. Sounds like you had an amazing time. Wacken's been on my bucket list forever. I don't know. Maybe I'll get to do it next year. We'll see. Hopefully I can make that happen. I would really love to do Wacken. That being said, I usually do, the 70,000 tons of metal cruise every year, and that's a blast. Same kind of thing, you're stuck on a boat with like 20,000 headbangers. They're all just like super awesome people, and there's a million fucking great bands to watch, and it's just an absolutely brilliant experience. You've been on the fence about 70,000 tons of metal. I can't recommend it enough. It's absolutely fucking incredible. It's such a blast. Go. Just do that. Believe me, I'd rather have the experience of, say, 70,000 tons of metal than having yet another guitar. But that's just me. I mean, like, your mileage may vary, but there's no substitute for good old-fashioned life experiences.
Your new thumbnails make me not want to watch. Bad vibes, bruh.
Oh, come on, Andrew. I think you're made of sterner stuff than that. Again, I've just been kind of doing a deep dive into the whole YouTube AI thing, the recommendation system, and how thumbnails work. And you might not like them, but you're still clicking on them, and the numbers back that up. You can bitch all you want, man, but the numbers don't lie. You just want people watching your videos, Glenn. Yes, that's why we do YouTube, to get people to watch our videos. It's kind of the underlying theme here. I know, what a mystery.
One more thing that is undeniable with Glenn. He's being more honest than many similar YouTubers. Yes, he monetizes a lot like everyone else, but he's risking a lot with his brutal honesty, and look at him grow. Honestly, and integrity seem to be missing in so many channels these days. I can feel an ulterior motive in so many tutorials where the underlying message is something you must buy in order to improve. When Glenn says, just go buy some monitors, he's saying it for a reason, not simply make some manufacturer more money. Thanks, Glenn, for making the rocket science easier. Lol.
Okay, I'm going to be clear here. Yeah, there's that to a certain point. I do work with certain brands, though. I mean, like Kali monitors, I'm always recommending them because they're great entry-level monitors, and I'm more than happy to. Generally, how that works is if I wouldn't use it on my own thing, I'm not going to recommend it. I got offered a lot of money earlier this year to demo a guitar that didn't even have a truss rod. And I mean, like, it was a really big check, and it would have made life really easy, but I'm like, I can't do that to you guys. I'd rather recommend, something like one of these guys, like this fucking absolutely incredible vicious guitar from Toronto, because this is a quality instrument. Yeah. Or the Happus stuff, or any multitude of brands, or some of the amp sims I work with. I've got no problem recommending that stuff because it sounds great and it works. If you're seeing it on my show, there's a reason for it. If you don't see it on my show and you wonder, hey, I wonder why Glenn's never worked with that brand before. I've been at this for almost a decade now. There's a really good reason for it.
I'm willing to bet that a few of the do I need monitors questions are not due to being cheap or lazy, but have to do more with cash flow, and people have an odd need to feel validated in their choice to follow other major advice from someone they respect you, and remain solvent instead of dropping 6 bills onto their credit card or a firm or Sweetwater's financing, etc. for that 3-way Cali system. Then again, they could also just be trolling you to see the vein pop out of your forehead.
I've often wondered about that. Seriously, though, that's one thing I love about the Calis. They make affordable solutions for all levels. And let's face it, I mean, like, I get it. Cash is probably not the easiest thing to come by these days for a lot of you guys because you're too busy trying to pay rent that is way overpriced. So I get it. There's a bit of a struggle there, but, where there's a will, there's a way. That's for sure. I mean, like, fuck's sakes, I never thought I'd be where I'm at in my 50s, doing this shit full time. but it happens. You just got to persevere. For what it's worth, when I was working and building up my studio, I would research stuff for months on end before dropping money on anything. I'd really do my homework. And we didn't have YouTube back then. All we had were magazine articles to go by. So I had to listen to people describe how things sounded. That was awful fun, that's for sure. Fortunately, now we've got YouTube. We can say, hey, you know what? We've got these monitors. Listen to the mix I got with them. That's so much easier to make a choice that way. That being said, yeah, the Callies are really great for entry level. Yes, the ball system is fantastic as well. And if you are short on space, they're a fantastic investment. I think they're just brilliant. Save your pennies.
Hey Glenn, what cities in Canada are definitely worth paying a visit? Also, peep my band Soul Trap and Prime Mover from Atlanta, Georgia, if you feel so inclined. Greetings from the South. Greg.
Well, hey, Greg, as a Canadian, I can definitely make a few recommendations. I live in, central Canada, so I can only speak to what I know. Windsor, yeah, it's a good place to drive through to get to somewhere more interesting. Let's put it that way. It's very boring here, but it sucks a whole lot less ever since we got fiber optic. That's for sure. Key city recommendations in Ontario would be Toronto. Of course, there's some really cool shops to go check out. There's some great comic book stores. There's, a lot of great restaurants. And of course, Ottawa is brilliant as well. Go check out the Byward Market if you're looking for something to do. That is really amazing. And of course, Montreal is just simply amazing as well. What a cool place to visit. Out west, Edmonton's always good. And as for Vancouver, I haven't been there since I was 11. Apparently, it's kind of scary in a few places, so proceed with caution. And as for Eastern Canada, never been, so I can't say either way. Apparently, though, it's all right if you like lobster. Anyway, hey guys, thanks so much for watching the show. That's it for this episode. Once again, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell because you don't want to miss Wednesday's episode. I think you guys are really going to like what's going on there. It's one of my stealth buy videos where the retailer doesn't know I made a purchase, so I get the actual consumer experience to give you guys the real truth about what's going on. And don't forget, we've got that Scott Elliot bundle sale going on this weekend. It ends Sunday night, so if you want to get some amazing courses, go check out SpectreAcademy.net. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. If you want to watch a cool video in the meantime, check out this review I did on this Chinese-made guitar here that is seriously giving the American-made guitars a run for their money. That's for sure. I'll see you guys next time.